Good evening. I hereby call this regular meeting of the Nacogdoches ISD Board of Trustees to order. Let the record show that a quorum is present and notice of this meeting was legally posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meeting Act. Please remember that items do not have to be taken in order as shown on the agenda, and please join us in turning your cell phones to silent mode. We welcome your attendance tonight, whether you are here in person or if you've joined us via Zoom. First item on the agenda tonight is an executive session to discuss the items posted on our agenda pursuant to the following provisions of the Texas Open Meetings Act and is allowed by Texas Government Code sections 551.071, 551.074, and 551.129. No voting will take place in the closed meeting. Any action the board wishes to take as a result of discussion in closed session will take place after the board reconvenes in open session. It is now 5:01 p.m. We will return to open session no earlier than 6 p.m. The board is now reconvening into open session at 6 p.m. I'll ask Leah to give our invitation tonight.
Heavenly Father, we just ask that you would join with us tonight. We thank you for your faithfulness in helping us this past year. We know that our concern for the children of this district and the teachers is nothing compared to your great love and concern for them. And so once again, we ask that you would give us wisdom and you would give us courage for the many important decisions we must make this evening. And we ask all this in your dear Son's name. Amen.
If you'll stand and join us as we say the pledges, Winslow will lead us in that pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God.
Before we move into the public meeting tonight, I just want to make a little housekeeping note. We are doing hybrid meetings. Our first one was on Monday. We've refined the technology with that a little bit tonight, so hopefully we won't have any microphone feedback. But as we enter this, if anybody is joining us via Zoom, please be patient with us if we get any technology challenges tonight. All right. We will now proceed with the public meeting regarding the proposed 2021-2022 budget and proposed tax rate. After the presentation, viewers of this meeting will have an opportunity for input and comments. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes and must pertain to the proposed budget and tax rate presentation. If you are here in person and would like to comment, please raise your hand after the presentation is made. If you have joined us by Zoom and wish to comment, please use the chat feature in Zoom to request an opportunity to speak. Use your full name and ask to comment on the 2021-2022 budget. We will take comments in order of requests. Mrs. Barber, the floor is yours.
Good evening, President Fitch, board members, Superintendent Trujillo. I'm going to give it a moment for our projector to come up.
Give me just a second.
This is one of those technology glitches. Yes. Let's see, our Zoom folks can see it for sure, but we're trying to get it up on the display here.
It's up.
Thank you all.
All right, this begins our public hearing for the 21-22 proposed budget and proposed tax rates. So we have many budget requirements, and one of those requirements we're meeting tonight. We have until June 30th to adopt the budget, and that is on our agenda tonight. The assumptions we used to build the budget this year was a refined ADA of 5399.72, an M&O tax rate of 1.547, which is no change, as well as a debt service tax rate of 0.245, again, no change. Certified property values will not be available until July of 2021, and the TA will not calculate our tax rate until after that is available. Staffing was based on an enrollment of 6,004. The raises given to our staff were 2% flat for the most part. Some teachers, or a beginning teacher, jumped from 42.5 to 43.5. And counselor's beginning salary was raised by 2.86. Yeah, I said 2% flat increase for majority of the staff. Pay grades 1 and 2 in our auxiliary staff are receiving a 5% increase. And some of our teachers on steps 2, 3, 33, 34 through 42 are receiving between a 2 and a 3% increase. So we are projecting our revenues to be $57.9 million. This is a decline from a prior year, and that is due to our decrease in enrollment. Here we have our expenditures, and of note on this page are the function 11, which is our instruction. We are dropping by 3.1 million. This is due to a decrease in teaching staff because of our lower ADA, but we are bringing those back through our ESSER funds, working as interventionists or reducing class sizes. And here we see our total expenditures at $57.9 million, which is the same amount as our revenue for a balanced budget. Estimated ending balance will be 31.2 million. Here again is a summary of what I just presented. We are estimating an ending fund balance of 31.2 million. 1 month of operating expenditures is 4.8 million. Board policy requires that we have a 3-month operating 3 months worth of operating expenses in our fund balance, which comes out to $14.4 million. So we are well within that, meeting our board policy requirements. Some highlights, again, due to major losses in ADA, the budget was built conservatively. 79% of our general funded budget is in salaries and benefits. Currently, that is at 72%. ESSER funds are being utilized to hire other teaching staff. Here you'll see that the majority of our budget is in payroll. And our payroll, the majority of our budget is in instruction. far as our student nutrition, our revenues are projected to be at $5.2 million. And our expenditures are projected to be at $5.2 million for a balanced budget, an ending fund balance of $1.3 million. Here's a summary. Debt service, we have a proposed tax rate of 2.245, no increase. Our revenues are projected to be at 5.3 million, while our expenses are projected to be at 6.9 million. This is on purpose that we have deficit spending. We're trying to bring down our fund balance. There's no other reason to have a fund balance other than paying your debt. So it can't be used for anything else anyway. And that concludes my presentation to the public.
Thank you, Mrs. Martin. Appreciate that. I will now open the public meeting for any comments regarding the proposed budget. Do we have anyone in the audience today who wishes to address the board? Let's give our Zoom viewers a moment to see if there's anyone that wants to comment that is tuning in via Zoom. Mr. Weinbarger. We'll now close the public hearing. That'll take us to item 5, information items. We'll turn to Dr. Pia for this month's good news.
President Finch and the board, just to share some wonderful things that are going on throughout the district. Since our last regular meeting on May 20th, we've had a number of end of the year activities take place, including graduation and the senior scholarship assembly. What a remarkable school year we've had. I can't begin to put into words to explain all the many things that have happened this year for everything to come together as it did for all of our students. All of the graduation-related activities were outstanding and served as one more reminder of what great students and staff we have in Nacogdoches ISD. And just a few days after the end of school, all of our campus teachers and staff enjoyed specially prepared lunches courtesy of our local businesses and groups from around town. It was a fun time on Tuesday, on June 1st, and NISD is grateful for anyone and everyone who came out together to make a statement showing how much this community appreciated our teachers and our staff. Last week, we celebrated our new transportation center with a ribbon cutting, and we had a number of people from the community attend, and the Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce was at hand for the ceremony. The transportation center, the first of the major projects completed from the 2018 bond package, has been open roughly about 10 months. And but we were unable to gather safely last week, or until last week, for the finale and celebrate its completion. Congratulations also goes out to our 7-on-7 football team. From Nacogdoches High School for winning state qualifying tournament last weekend in Tyler. That victory sends our Dragons to the state championship or tournament of 7-on-7 tournament later this month, which will be at Texas A&M and College Station. For those wondering what 7-on-7 is, well, it's a passing only competition on a reduced sized football field. This is the first time, very first time, a 7-on-7 team from Nacogdoches is qualified for the state tournament. And we're so proud, and good luck to our Dragons. Thank you, President Finch. That's all it is for now.
Well, thank you. What a wonderful report. I saw that announcement on Facebook regarding the 7-on-7, and I was so excited. Yeah, so what a great thing. That'll take us to item number 6, public comment. We did not receive any requests to address the board as outlined in the meeting notice. So we'll move to item 7, the consent agenda. Unless removed from the consent agenda, all items listed will be acted on with one motion. If there is a board member who wishes to discuss an item on the consent agenda separately, please indicate the agenda letter, and it will be set aside for further discussion in a separate vote.
Ms. Fitch, I would ask if we can move items C2 and C3 to discussion.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other items to pull from consent agenda? Hearing none, we'll entertain a motion.
She requested. Oh,
On the balance of consent agenda.
I'll make the motion to accept the agenda with the exception of C2 and C3.
Thank you, Mr. Latoya. Do we have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Mr. Narrow. Any discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right, so that will take us to item C2, instruction purchases over 25,000. Dr. Hill.
Oh, if you can hear me.
There you go.
Okay. Couldn't hear it, so, excuse me. Good evening, President Fitch, board members, and Superintendent Trujillo. Thank you very much for the opportunity to clarify. After Monday's agenda review meeting, we just went back and scoured our the spreadsheets that we received, and we realized there was a discrepancy with a campus and the numbers that had been requested. So we went back, acquired the correct numbers, and went back to the company. And the difference that you see now is a difference of about $184,000 that increased from what we discussed on Monday. And so at your place, you should have two different quotes as well as two updated action sheets. The first one should be the Heinemann for this evening. And you'll see that it's reflecting a total of $603,364.48 from ESSER 3 funds.
I'll open the floor for a motion.
You said how much? 600?
$603,364.48.
I was gotta help myself.
Okay. I move that we approve the purchase of the Fountas and Pinnell classroom kits from Heinemann in the amount of $603,364.48 from ESSER 3 funds.
We have a second.
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Apt. So we've got a motion by Mrs. Winslow, a second by Mrs. Apt. Any discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. That'll take us to the item C3, the Benchmark Education Company. Dr. Hill, do you have anything to add here?
Thank you, Madam President. The second item that was clipped is a new updated spreadsheet, action sheet as well as a quote to reflect the difference. And just as a reminder, these are our Spanish resources that complement the Fountas and Pinnell. So there is a bit of an increase of $12,000 from our Monday's discussion.
I'll open the floor for a motion.
I move that we purchase the bilingual instructional materials from Benchmark Education in the amount of $84,000 from Title I money.
Thank you, Dr. Groveman. Do we have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Reverend Irvin has the second. Any additional discussion? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you so much. Okay, that will take us to item 8, the action agenda tonight. We're going to look at item A, consideration to take action to approve a contingent fee contract with Purdue Brandon, Builder, Collins, and Mott LLP pursuant to section 6.30 of the Texas Property Tax Code, and said contract being for the collection of delinquent government receivables owed to Nacogdoches Independent School District, and notice of said contract is posted with the agenda in accordance with section 2254 of the government code. Dr. Trujillo.
Yes, ma'am. In your attachments, you have the notice that Nacogdoches ISD has sent out, as well as written findings from Nacogdoches ISD in the contract. from Nacogdoches ISD. The 3 letters of interest were received in response to our notice regarding the collection of legal taxes. I am recommending Purdue, Brandon, Gilder, Collins, and Moat LLP for the collections of legal taxes for Nacogdoches ISD.
Do we have a motion?
Madam President, I have a motion. I move to approve the contingent fee contract with the Purdue, Brandon, Fielders, Collins, and Moat LLP pursuant to section 6.30 of the Texas Property Tax Code. Said contract being for the collection of delinquent government receivable owed to Nacogdoches and ISD district. And notice of said contract is posted with the agenda in accordance with the section 2254 of the government code.
Thank you, Mr. Garamond. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Matoya. Any discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you so much. We'll now conduct an executive closed session to discuss the items posted on our agenda pursuant to the following provisions of the Texas Open Meetings Act and as allowed by Texas Government Code sections 551.074. No voting will take place in the closed meeting. Any action the board wishes to take as a result of discussion in closed session will take place after the board reconvenes in open session. It is now 6:20 p.m. and I would say we would not reconvene any earlier than 6:50. That would give us 30 minutes. Everybody comfortable with that?
Yes.
All right. The board is now reconvening into open session at 7:16 p.m. I will entertain a motion.
Madam President, I
Yes.
move the board approve of the scores provided superintendent as contained on this evaluation instrument as discussed with Dr. Leo in closed session.
Thank you, sir. We have a motion by Reverend Irvin. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
That was a tie. I'm gonna give it to Mr. Nearmont. Any discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. The next item, 10A2, the superintendent contract renewal extension. Do we have a motion?
Yes, I move that the board extend the superintendent's existing contract through June 30, 2024, and add an additional 3 days of paid leave for the 2021-22 year.
Thank you, Dr. Groban. Do we have a second?
I will second.
Second by Mr. Montoya. Any discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, and sir, we are honored to have you as our leader.
Thank you.
Would any of the other
Yes.
board members like to
I would
comment?
Ms. Apples.
I would just like to say to the community that I really value this board and the decisions made in conjunction with Dr. Trujillo, because we have developed a really good team of one. We all have our hearts in the same place. And I know that this coming year might find us, with some bumps in the road, but working together and doing what we need to do for this community and having Dr. Trujillo's leadership in our district, I think is going to make this a very successful year. So I'm very happy for the long.
Thank you. Any additional comment? All right, I'll open the floor for a motion.
I move that we adjourn.
Thank you, Mrs. Winslow. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mrs. Knapp. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you so much.